In the world of international figure skating, where grace and precision meet the spotlight, a quiet storm has been gathering around an unexpected object, a stuffed toy that resembles something far from the delicate artistry of the ice. At a recent competition held in the bustling city of Chongqing, China, an incident occurred that drew the attention of the International Skating Union, the ISU, and, soon after, the world's media. The event was part of the prestigious Grand Prix Series, a tournament that showcases some of the most skilled figure skaters from around the globe. Among the competitors was a Chinese ice dance pair, Ren Junfei and Xin Jianing, young, talented athletes representing their nation with elegance and determination. But as the music faded and the scores were awaited, the scene shifted from performance to controversy. In their hands appeared a large plush toy, shaped not like a teddy bear or a mascot, but like a long, gray missile. Across the side of the toy, the letters, DF-61, were marked, a reference, it seemed, to a Chinese intercontinental ballistic missile known as Dongfeng-61. The image of the pair holding that object spread swiftly online. Screenshots from the broadcast circulated across platforms. Some viewers thought it was a joke, perhaps a misunderstood prop. Others saw it as a troubling symbol, inappropriate for an international sports stage meant to celebrate peace, art, and human excellence. Within hours, the ISU released a statement acknowledging that something about the incident did not sit right. The organization said it was aware that, during the event, a member of the audience had thrown a plush toy onto the ice, a common gesture of appreciation in figure skating, where fans often toss flowers or stuffed animals to their favorite athletes. But this one, the ISU noted, appeared inappropriate. They added that one of the skaters was later seen holding the toy, and that an investigation had begun to understand the circumstances. The tone of the statement was measured but firm, expressing regret that such an incident had taken place. For those unfamiliar with the world of competitive skating, it may seem a small thing, a toy, a misunderstanding. Yet in the tightly controlled environment of international sport, symbolism matters. Every gesture, every prop, every moment on camera can be magnified, analyzed, and interpreted by millions. Ren and Xin had just completed their performance at the China Cup, one of 6 stops in the Grand Prix series. The event is a point of pride for the host nation, drawing local fans and global attention. As the pair waited in what's called the kiss and cry area, the small bench where skaters sit with their coaches to await scores, cameras captured them holding the missile-shaped toy. For a brief moment, Ren lifted it into the air, smiling faintly, perhaps unaware of how it might look beyond that room. The toy, according to various reports, was modeled after a vehicle capable of carrying nuclear warheads, the kind of military hardware that rarely finds its way into conversations about sport. The ISU's quick reaction suggested that the organization wanted to draw a line. Sports arenas, especially those involving young athletes, should remain free from political, military, or provocative symbols. As the footage circulated, discussions began online. Some commentators accused the media of overreacting, insisting that the skaters had no ill intent and likely had no control over what fans threw onto the ice. Others argued that even if accidental, the moment reflected poorly on the values of international competition. In China, reactions were mixed. Some defended the skaters, calling it a harmless gesture, while others acknowledged that the image was uncomfortable, a reminder of how quickly art and politics can collide. For the athletes themselves, the moment may have been fleeting, but its echo grew louder with every replay. The pair ultimately placed 8th in the competition, far from the medal podium but still under the heavy glare of global attention. The winners that day were Madison Chock and Evan Bates of the United States, a pair long known for their artistry and consistency. Yet even their victory was partly overshadowed by the unfolding story. Sports journalists across the world began to frame the incident within a larger context. How the line between patriotism and provocation can blur when symbols of military power appear in public celebration. In figure skating, fans often express love through gifts. Stuffed bears, handmade mascots, and flowers rain down after performances. These tokens are part of the sports culture, small bridges of affection between skaters and their supporters. But never before had a missile plushie become part of that tradition. The ISU emphasized that it does not tolerate political messaging or imagery that could be seen as offensive or divisive. The governing body's statement expressed regret and promised a thorough review. As investigations continued, commentators reminded audiences that sports, though often insulated from the world's conflicts, can never fully escape them. When global tensions rise, symbols can take on meanings far beyond their creators' intentions. The scene in Chongqing, A pair of young athletes smiling beside what appeared to be a missile toy became a small but vivid example of how the modern era connects everything. A local moment becomes a global debate in seconds. No evidence emerged that the skaters themselves intended to send any message. Many suspected the toy came from a fan, tossed onto the ice without thought. Yet, as with many viral controversies, intent mattered less than impact. The incident reminded organizers and athletes alike that the images they project matter. The world's cameras are always watching, always interpreting. For the ISU, the challenge is maintaining the purity of sport amid a world filled with powerful symbols. For the skaters, the challenge is to stay focused on their craft while the noise of controversy swirls around them. In the days that followed, fans on social media debated whether the outrage was justified. Some felt the ISU's response was too harsh. Others praised it as necessary to preserve the sport's integrity. Meanwhile, clips of the competition continued to circulate. Commentators replayed the moment, slowed it down, discussed every detail, the expression on the skaters' faces, the reactions from coaches, the crowd's mood. Through it all, one truth remained. The sport's beauty lies not in symbols of power, but in moments of human grace, in the glide of blades across ice, the precision of movement, the music, and the fleeting connection between performer and audience. In the grander scheme, perhaps this incident will fade. But it will leave behind a reminder that even in the quiet, elegant world of figure skating, the symbols we hold can speak louder than we intend. The Chongqing competition will be remembered not just for the spins and lifts, but for the soft, fabric shape of a missile that briefly appeared under bright lights. It was a moment that said much about the modern world, how boundaries blur, how art and politics touch, and how even innocence can be mistaken for intent when the stage is global. As the ISU's inquiry moves forward, the focus will likely return to what matters most: the skaters' dedication, their artistry, and the universal language of sport that transcends borders. Yet for now, that small plush toy serves as an unlikely symbol of a lesson repeated across generations. In every gesture lies meaning, and in every moment of global attention, responsibility follows. And as the ice rink lights dim